Speaking of business and handling, the handler.
How does the business of killing monsters go?
The handler's been handling my business while I kill the monsters, man.
Oh, I need one of her in real life. I need a handler.
Don't we all?
Not an assistant, not a manager. I need a handler.
Yeah,
I like it.
And you can't be your mom, because then you feel really bad when you have to, like, tell them they screwed up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally want to feel totally disattached to this person.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, not care if they live or die, frankly.
Be like, you're replaceable.
Yeah. Like, look, I understand that's a 30-year-old ladder, but those gutters got to get clean today. I don't care if it is a hurricane. I don't pay you to sit on your ass.
Oh, man.
Briar's toxic.
Man,
to his mom, of all people.
Yeah. Jesus, guys.
Jesus, Briar.
So Monster Hunting, man, this shouldn't be surprising at all. But Monster Hunter World is fantastic.
Wait, what?
And sure enough, Iceborne is incredible.
Incredible. Like, seriously, top 3 DLCs ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Any video game.
Dude,
any video game.
Any video game.
It changes the game hands down. Like, it is a legit expansion. Like, it takes the base game and says, wasn't this great, this base game? What if we just take all of that and just build on it all and make it better and give you brand new stuff? And like, okay, yeah. And remember how you liked grinding and getting to a new area and new stuff to hunt? Let's give you like 27 new monsters.
I haven't played it yet. Can you guys explain like some of the new stuff? Like what exactly is new? I mean, I know that there's a new area and I know there's new monster, but aside from that, like what's...
So in a game-changing sense, there's the Clutch Claw. And so this is one of like, obviously a lot of things, but like the Clutch Claw changes everything because now you have this new option for softening up your kill. You know how you want to like butter up that bacon, or like
butter that bacon, boy.
Briar knows all about it.
You want to tenderize the steak, So it essentially gives you the option to tenderize the steak and on multiple points. You can clutch claw into the monster. You do like an attack to weaken it, essentially, and you can do it on multiple points again. And if you do it on the head, you can unload all of the slinger ammo to knock the monster or to send the monster accelerated force into an area. And if it hits a wall, then it gets a knockdown. It's a guaranteed knockdown.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it does like a lot of damage too. So earlier, I also knocked a monster off the edge. So I knocked the monster down to the next level, fell, saw 950 damage.
That's amazing.
And it's just on the floor squirming.
That's big damage.
That's big
So
damage.
does the Clutch Claw itself do the damage, or is it a tool for you to get within range to do damage?
So it's kind of short range. So you have to be relatively close to the monster, like not right next to it, but you have to be within a normal distance of the monster. And then you get to pick like usually the tail, the midsection, or the head. And sometimes there's 2 midsections. And then the soften attack does a decent amount of damage. It'll end up doing like 200 plus damage every time you use it. And what it does is it weakens that area. So every time you hit, like let's say you weaken the tail, if the tail isn't already a weak spot, it'll now have like these markers that say you're hitting a weak spot, but it's because it's been weakened.
Oh, okay.
And that lasts for like probably 2 minutes or something like that.
They even have weapons and skills that are also tied to that new weak spot.
Yeah.
So there's some armor where it's like, it says if you have, this amount of armor, your set bonus is you do increase damage to weak spots, and you always have access to making your own weak spots.
Yeah.
So it kind of opens up this whole other way of playing. It's also really good for melee people. Anyone using a melee weapon and there's a monster just flying around everywhere, and enables you to actually get in there and do damage instead of just waiting for it to fall. And it's some of the moves you do on it are they just look really cool and they feel really cool.
Does it help you like target like a specific area that you want the armor from? Like you really want it to drop?
I guess if you wanted to cut off the tail, you weakening the tail is always going to be good.
You could do a cut. Like I cut a tail from a weak spot attack. Like, I latched on and then dropped the sword down and did cut the tail from that. So I'm pretty sure you can break phase
the bow, You slash with an arrow 3 times in your hand, and then you do a backflip off the monster and do a spread attack.
That's cool.
That
So you do
sounds
it, and you're like, "Whoa, that's cool. I like that." You could even technically do the attack into a falling attack to then mount the monster. So it opens
That's
up this
badass.
whole other way of playing, and there's also new moves to each weapon.
Yep.
So for bow, for example, there's a new move where you load all of your slinger ammo into your bow, and you shoot a spread attack and all of the slinger ammo at the monster.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Does a lot of damage, especially if
Yeah.
it's like a piercing pod. It just pierces through all the monster.
Yep.
It's so good.
I feel bad about
So
this,
good.
but I have not actually investigated what the Great Sword new move is. I should have done that.
No,
Yeah.
is that what you're maining, the great sword, and Watts, you're doing the bow?
I am a bow.
It's-
I'm a bow.
Base game, I played Great Sword all the way through, and then I branched out to the other weapons. There's only like a few weapons
Yeah.
I actually don't like. I like most of the weapons, but the Great Sword, there's something extremely visceral with hitting a triple
Yeah.
charge on a monster and seeing those numbers, because you just feel like you actually feel like you're bashing the monster. And I sometimes what was it?
That was the weapon that I started with, and I enjoyed it tremendously. And then I tried out the hammer, and I was sold.
Oh yeah, no,
The
hammer's
hammer-
great too. Yeah,
It was like it made me giggle with excitement every time I swung it.
yeah.
I hear the new move for the hammer is quite exciting.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I made a decision to wait until the PC release for Iceborne. Have I made a mistake?
Yes.
Oh, I can't imagine waiting, Briar. Honestly,
It's coming out in
I
January.
just feel like September is too much. Like there's just too much happening in September. I didn't want to start Iceborne and then just like, because I'm definitely playing Gears of War 5 came out today.
today.
And by all accounts, it's
I thought it was last
well,
week.
if you have a Game Pass.
Oh,
no, today.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
And then Greedfall is coming out tomorrow,
Damn.
which I'm really hoping is good. I have no idea, right? Because there's like I haven't seen any early reviews or anything,
Mhm.
so I don't even know if they're
Yeah.
out there. And then we know Borderlands is coming out on Friday,
Thursday.
Technically.
Thursday, yeah. So
If
it's
you're
like,
on the Epic Store, Thursday at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Crazy.
is there another way to get it besides the Epic Store?
Well, if you're on console, you have to wait until.
You have to wait till
bit
midnight in your
later.
time zone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You have to wait
that's
till midnight in your
horseshit.
time zone. Yeah. So if you're playing on PC, you get it early.
Yeah.
Early?
Epic Store.
Thank you, Epic Store. You're the best.
You know, Steam
It's a
actually does
worldwide
a similar
release.
thing. Steam does a similar thing where they have a set time when they release new games.
Yeah.
So you can actually end up getting something earlier on Steam than on console because of that set time release. Because it's the same thing with Code Vein. Technically, PC comes out later
Right.
on when you look at it, but in actuality, it comes out earlier because of how Steam releases games.
Yeah. I wish consoles would get rid of like time zone releases.
Oh, I hate
Like,
it.
what's the point aside from trying to
Oh, I just
stagger
hate it so much.
people hitting a server?
Right.
You know, like if
Yeah.
you
Staggering server, I totally get.
Yeah, I get that, but like if it's a game that's not hitting a server, like why do time zone stuff? Because your old business model, you know, it's like it's a
I hate
worldwide
it.
it's worldwide market right now. So
Yeah.
back to Monster Hunter. So
There's ice.
tons.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. The new
First of
area
all.
is huge and
Ugh.
beautiful and lots of intricacy and interesting map design that you'd expect from Monster Hunter. I think one of the biggest surprises for me was the monsters that are subspecies, like a new Anjanath, new Toby, all that stuff. They don't just feel like they recolored them, Briar. You know, like you'd think that in Monster Hunter World they're just gonna give like Toby a different color and that's it. Like they redesigned a bunch of move sets, so it feels like you're fighting a new monster. And there's new
That's
armor, there's new weapons, all associated with these subspecies of it. So it's really cool. It's like imagine fighting a knight in Destiny, and then there's like a subspecies of that knight that has like a whole new set of moves that you're unaware of.
And new looking armor from them too. It's not just like recolored armor. It's
Yeah.
actually like different armor.
Newly designed armor with new perks, and yeah, it's really cool.
That's huge because that's like a big motivator, right? It's like going in and killing that monster over and over again. If it's the same move set, then it's like, well, I already know how to do this, so there's no learning curve here. It's just rote,
Yeah.
you know, like just doing it like I was doing it last year. But then if there's new armor too, it motivates me to do it. Plus, it's an adventure doing it because I got to learn how to do it. That's amazing, actually.
Exactly. Yeah. And they tie it into the story of how you're finding this monster. It's so well done, man. I was not expecting this expansion to be like, oh, how about Monster Hunter World 2.0? But that's what it feels like. Is like here's a sequel almost to the game that's happening.
If they would have told me that this was Monster Hunter World 2, I'd be like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, cool.
Are they bringing in new right after they released Monster Hunter, they had kind of like, I don't want to say seasonal events, but like kind of weekly events. Like 1 week you could earn Ryu's kind of costume. 1 week you could do like a new cat costume.
I'm pretty sure.
Are they doing that?
Pretty sure that's continuing. Yeah, and I think next month there's a new monster that's being added.
Yeah, they've already announced that the next month they have a new monster coming.
Yeah,
really.
Even before Iceborne came out, they showed that a new monster is coming. So they're always really good at doing collaboration events. So you get like The Witcher is in Monster Hunter, Mega Man. They always do really cool crossovers, and then they're constantly adding new monsters too. So it's.
But
when you get the costumes like for The Witcher, do you also does that just like basically go over the armor that you're wearing? So you still get the stats of your armor?
Yeah.
But then you look like The Witcher?
Isn't that correct?
If it's a layered armor, I'm not actually sure if it's a layered armor or not.
Oh, you're right. In the beginning, they didn't have that. It was like stat-based armor.
Yeah,
but now they got this layered armor system. So essentially, you can look a certain way while having the armor that you want on for the perks.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. It's awesome, bro. Seriously, like this game.
I can't wait till this game comes out in January. This is gonna be amazing.
I put 300 plus hours in the base game. Loved it.
Yeah.
But I was done because I was like, I got most of the things I want, and I'm good.
Right.
Now they add 27 monsters, a whole new rank, master rank, and
there's 27 new monsters.
Yes.
27.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's not like here's 3 or 4, go get them, cowboy. It's like here's a brand new like thing that you're gonna go and conquer. It's crazy, man. Lost my train of thought. Crap.
Sorry.
But what's really incredible as well about just Monster Hunter is the attention to detail of the world. Like if you stand around and watch, you can see Palicos doing a full baking routine.
Yes.
And then they pick up the dish and they're running it to the kitchen, and it really makes it feel like you're living in a town. And you can go in like hot springs now with your cat, and you can like play with the cat and you can splash around. It's just the attention to detail is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I think I was watching your stream, Watts, and you went to the Forge.
I did.
And everybody was getting like really excited because we're like throwing stuff into the Forge and the Palicos are jumping up and down, and you're kind of doing this like pantomime dance, and then it's like the thing's gonna blow up and everybody's getting super excited. Like they haven't lost the whimsy either. Like it's still like it's super fun just to be in that world.
It feels magical. When you're in the world, it just feels like homely and warm and magical, and it's they really do such a fantastic and murder. Yeah. And making things out of dead body parts.
I remember what I was going to say. I want to say the difference between high rank and master rank is significant. So on high rank, you'd cap out around like 80 to 90 armor ish on your pieces of gear. You would say it would be like 80.
Is that in the base game?
Yeah, base game had high rank. So you had low rank to start with, and you went to high rank, and that's where the end game was for base game. They introduced master rank, and the lowest armor for master rank starts out at like 118. So nearly 40 points higher than what the end game best gear was for the base game of your armor.
So what's it look like? Let's say you played through the story in the first game. Can you just jump right into Iceborne, or do you have a significant amount of grinding before you can just go over to Iceborne?
Yeah, actually, Watts, do they give you any kind of shortcut to get gear?
You just have to actually start it. You just have to finish the main campaign of Monster Hunter World, and then technically you're good to go. Will it be difficult because your armor is maybe not up to par? Potentially. But I think what you could do, you should probably be able to take down the first few, maybe 2 monsters, okay? And then maybe you can farm them to get master rank armor, and then you're like good to go.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay. There's also there's a great Jagras that you can farm for better armor and better weapons.
Yeah.
So if you do start Iceborne after you put the game down for a while and you find you're struggling, you can just go and do that.
Yeah.
It won't take you long to get the full set.
And also the thing is, you're definitely going to have to do that because like once you get past a couple monsters, they are kicking your ass. Like I think that's another distinction too, is that master rank, I feel like every monster is like hyper aggressive and very very crafty in the moveset. Like you're constantly guessing what they're gonna do. There's only maybe like just like you said, like the first two are kind of like the easy ones, easy-ish, and then like
Yeah.
and then you start progressing, and it's like they're all like annoying at times with their movesets. But it's good though; it's satisfying to kill them because you feel like you've accomplished, you've overcome the challenge, and then you get better gear, better weapons, and then you can kill them quicker and all that.
I think it was maybe 4 monsters in where I was like, I'm gonna need to upgrade some stuff. I'm doing no damage.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't help because with the bow, the changes to bow, they made it to where you really have to spec into the elemental damage of the bow. And of course, when you're early on, you're not making any builds. You can't make any builds. You're just trying to get whatever works. So
Yeah.
I'm finally at the point where I'm actually feel like I'm doing damage because I can make an elemental build.
Nice.
But yeah, I was like, these fights were taking me like 40 minutes average at the beginning.
Yeah, I just killed.
God, I am hyped for January now. This is gonna be amazing.
Oh, it's so good, bro. Seriously, like imagine how much you enjoyed Monster Hunter in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, here's a bunch of it more that's fresh.
Yeah. Oh, I'm psyched.
And the armor looks really good. They've done some really beautiful looking armor and some very interesting new perks that they've brought in as well.
I was watching your stream again today, Watts, and I tuned in just when you were like putting on this cape that looked like it was made out of like the back of a squid or an octopus, but it was like inflated in a way that made it look super cool, but it was also like really well animated. Like it was a really cool piece of armor.
The full armor set of that looks so good. Just on looks alone, I'm like, yep, I'm just gonna get it. It's also really good for bow, thank goodness. But yeah, I want the full thing. And I've thought that about a lot of things. The Valkana armor is beautiful and also really cool. The perks on that, it's got a perk where when your weapon's sheathed, you get like a frost aura around you. And the longer it's sheathed, like the more damage your attacks will do.
It increases your attack damage as it's sheathed.
It does, yeah.
And then as you start attacking, it starts decreasing, but you have to resheath to regain it. It's so cool. Just those little touches to make builds and all that. Also, there's tier 4 gems now in slots with tier 4 gems. So you know how it originally went tier 1, 2, and 3? They added a 4th tier for gems and new gems that show up with that to further progress the build potential. And also
and the gems as well. The gems, so you can get ones where it's like fire damage, for example. And instead of doing +1, it will do +2 with the 4-star gem. But also they have mixed ones. So you can get an attack boost that also has guard on it. So you can have these gems that have more than one skill.
Yeah, these combo gems.
To make some really, really cool builds.
Yeah. And a bunch of the equipment in gear is upgradable as well. Like a lot of necklaces can be upgraded. There's mantles that you can upgrade. There's,
Was that not in? I don't remember being able to upgrade
You
necklaces.
could upgrade them to a point, and now this expansion expanded it further for more upgrades.
So old gear that you already have could now be upgraded higher, or you got to earn the new.
You got to earn new gear, but things like necklaces and mantles, some of them have. I don't know if all of them do, but I know some of them have upgrade paths for further stuff, which is cool.
It's the same with like Val Hazak, for example. I had his bow. He now has another upgrade to that weapon. So even some of your old weapons now have further upgrade paths. Either that's just going to the next step of that specific monster, or it leads to a whole other monster set of weapons.
Yeah, the only thing that you technically would leave behind permanently is high rank gear, right?
Yeah,
because you would never upgrade that to be usable.
Yeah,
it's always you could take your old sword, like I have a Nergigante set. Or I mean, all the weapons, and I'd like to take those to the new Nergigante Rarity 12 once I'm at that point. So
Yep.
Interesting. How about the story? Does it have a new story mode?
There's a new story, and I'm still not done with the story.
Still not done with it. How many hours did you put in, Watts?
At least 20.
Oh, that's good. How long was the story mode in the original? It wasn't that long.
I thought
right?
I'd be done by now.
No, it was about 30 hours in the base game.
Was it about 30 hours
to like get to end game, or
it's a
30-ish?
lot.
Yeah. So I just beat the boss that you think is the boss, and I'm sure now there's like a switch up to where there's something else.
Whole
cooking.
More stuff coming.
Yeah. You know how like it was Zora Magdaros in the original was like the thing that you think you're going to kill, and then it ends up becoming Xeno'jiiva later. So I think they're following that formula as well. Because when
Yeah, and then they also in the base game they then introduced all the Elder Dragons, right? So then you're like, oh well, I have Nergigante and I have Deor Kashala,
Dorian-
Kashala,
Dora the
Nora,
Explorer.
Nora.
Nailed it.
Yeah, it's a similar thing here. So after you kill Velkhana, you're gonna be hunting for footsteps of Elder Dragons, and then you go and fight upgraded Elder Dragons.
upgraded.
I'm not gonna lie, I got my ass kicked.
You should.
Yeah.
By one of them in particular, really bad. I ran out of time one time. I got carted all the way back to hometown. Yeah, it was bad.
And the whole expansion is $40, right?
$40.
$40.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. And with a 20-hour story mode, and I'm sure there's another bunch of hours of just grinding for like the coolest gear and killing Elder Dragons. You guys think it's worth it?
It's easily another like 200, 300 hours.
Really? You think so?
Easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
It's impressive, Briar. Seriously, man.
Man, I can't wait for that release date.
Yeah. That January on PC.
Not January.
People, that's the,
You guys are so lucky you got early access.
that is honestly the only real issue is that their parity for PC is non-existent, and so it's
Yo, that
Japan
fucking
doesn't
sucks.
care about PC.
No.
Japan really doesn't care about PC. They're starting to. There's companies that are starting to realize that.
Yeah, Capcom really seems to have kind of embraced it recently.
this is Capcom.
Wait, is that
What?
Monster Hunters by Capcom?
Yep.
Yeah. Also, load
Yeah,
times. Load times on PS4 is I forgot.
You just get to bond, you know?
Yeah.
You bond with
I'm
that,
like,
or your
oh,
friends.
I'm going to
Or
the
your
ancient forest.
Cat.
Time to get some coffee.
Take
Take a break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's fine.
No problem at all.
it's phenomenal though. The entire game is just phenomenal. The amount that they've added to it is insane. The new town I think is beautiful to
Yep.
be in.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
new
it's got a new
gathering hub is better.
yeah. There's a whole new town that you visit.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Or they set
I didn't
up.
know that.
Yeah. You get.
And the mama cat.
Yeah. Grandma Meowsworth is
Yes.
cooking
Grandma
food.
Meowsworth.
I don't know her like real name.
When I
Yeah.
first started playing that game, when I first started Monster Hunter World, I did not think I was gonna like the nature of like the kind of the silly side of Monster
Yeah.
Hunter, but you really get into it. It really kind
You
of
embrace it.
it lightens the mood, and it's just fun. You know, like it's not going to be your super serious kind of like story, but it's just kind of quirky and fun.
Honestly, I think it has to, because at the end of the day, you're essentially wiping out populations of these monsters, and some of them straight up
Yeah.
limp and like whimper like a puppy dog. And like I feel
Yeah.
Yeah.
at that point, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to kill you.
Yeah. Yeah. So having that, like, having your Palico run around as Mega Man makes you feel a little bit better.
Yeah, about cutting off that tail and then murdering that rare monster.
That very beautiful
Yeah,
monster that was just minding its business.
yeah, that was just part of the ecosystem.